The city wakes before dawn, still wrapped in the dim blue hush of early morning. Streetlights flicker like fading memories, and a quiet hum spreads through the alleys, not of engines, but of anticipation. On an empty stretch of road, beneath a washed-out sky, stands a silhouette, sharp, confident, industrial, and electric. The Tata electric scooter. 400 kilometers of promised freedom. A single charge. A new gamble in the age of silent mobility. A machine designed to whisper, and roar, without making a sound. Its matte panels catch the first rays of sunlight, revealing a surface cut with the precision of a sculptor who understands both rebellion and restraint. Not too flamboyant, not too humble. Every edge feels like a decision, every contour like a declaration. This is not just a scooter. This is a frontier. In the morning stillness, the air curls around its frame as if trying to understand the presence of something unordinary. A vehicle that doesn't rely on combustion, tradition, or yesterday's science. It stands proud, like a creature born not from metal, but from vision. And then, movement. The scooter glides forward, so quietly that the world almost misses its departure. Tires kiss the asphalt, and the city's slumber snaps. In a heartbeat, the script of mobility rewrites itself. The first stride. Acceleration is instant, clean, and shockingly assertive. No lag, no hesitation, just a surge of torque translated into motion with surgical smoothness. Inside the body, a next-gen high-density battery pack sits like a beating electric heart, built to deliver an improbable 400 kilometers on a single charge. 400. A number that feels less like engineering and more like challenge. A number that invites riders to test the horizon without fear of reaching the end. The roads blur. Trees bend. The city, once a cage of traffic noise, becomes a mute spectator. With every meter, the Tata electric scooter proves that silence can be powerful, and domination doesn't require noise. Street cameras catch glimpses, a swift figure slipping through the grid, weaving between shadows and sunbeams. The ride is smooth, almost too smooth, the sensation of floating replacing the mechanical chatter older scooters rely on. Vibrations vanish, the journey becomes a glide. Mechanical truth. Electric mobility is often romanticized, but inside this machine, the brutality of precision engineering lives quietly. The motor, compact, efficient, thermal balanced, channels power without waste. No gears to grind. No heat to swallow. No fumes to betray your passing. The chassis, fortified but feather balanced, handles twists and turns like a formula pushed through a wind tunnel and refined under a microscope. Corners feel conquered, not negotiated. Brakes bite with calm confidence, guided by regenerative tech that funnels lost energy back into the heart of the machine. The digital console glows like the cockpit of a spacecraft, each figure alive with information. Range, load, battery temperature, efficiency curves. Everything delivered with clinical honesty, no drama, just truth. And yet, despite all the data, the ride feels emotional. A paradox, but a welcome one. Between crowds and chaos, rush hour arrives, spilling chaos like a burst dam. But the scooter cuts through it with almost predatory elegance. No stalling, no coughing, no pleading with the engine to cooperate. Just quiet maneuverability. The kind of maneuverability that makes you forget the world is noisy at all. Children point as it passes. Drivers lean out of windows to track its journey. Pedestrians pause mid-step, as if something futuristic has breached their timeline. The price, 1.25 lakh rupees, lingers like a whispered promise. Affordable enough to tempt the masses, advanced enough to redefine their expectations. A rare balance in a market where compromise usually wins. The test of distance. Hours pass. The sun climbs. The scooter keeps going. Kilometer after kilometer, its endurance refuses to fade. The battery gauge drops slowly, methodically, like a ticking clock that respects your schedule. Roads change. Smooth highways, broken rural routes, tight city lanes, open stretches where wind competes with momentum. But the scooter never pleads for mercy. Its motor remains calm, its temperature stable, its confidence unshaken. You begin to wonder, is 400 kilometers a number, or a challenge to every other manufacturer? A moment of stillness. On a cliffside road overlooking a valley washed in gold, the scooter comes to a halt. Its silhouette stands against the world like a monument to the quiet revolution it represents. Dust settles around its tires. Birds scatter. The wind leans in to examine its form. This is where machines are separated from marvels. This is where endurance meets meaning. The scooter has traveled far, farther than many believed possible, but it shows no fatigue. Only readiness. A device that does not beg for fuel. A companion that gives more than it takes. A promise made real. Internal anatomy. Inside its shell, the engineering unfolds like a secret language. A high-density lithium battery arranged in a matrix of thermal-regulated cells. A BMS smart enough to predict misuse before it happens. A motor wound with precision copper coils, generating torque like a silent hammer. Aerodynamics that reduce drag, increasing efficiency by percentages that matter at long ranges. Suspension tuned for India's unpredictable roads, not too soft, not brutal. A frame built for longevity, not convenience. Every piece fits like a prophecy fulfilled. Human moments. A delivery rider tests it on his route, and returns shocked at how many kilometers he still has left. A college student takes it for a spin, realizing her monthly fuel costs could collapse into a flick of electricity. A father rides it home, imagining a world where his children breathe cleaner air. This is what the scooter brings. Not just transport, but transformation. Nightfall. The city lights reappear. Neon spills across the roads, dancing on the scooter's curves. In the dark, the machine looks different, more alive, more mysterious, more intentional. The headlamp pierces the night like a blade of cold blue fire. The electric hum deepens into something nearly musical. The scooter moves through empty streets as if rewriting the relationship between sound and motion. In its silence lives a narrative of progress, and in its motion, a defiance of everything outdated. The climax of the journey. 400 kilometers. A number born of ambition. A distance conquered with grace. As the day collapses into midnight, the scooter glides to a stop at the same stretch of empty road where its journey began. The loop is complete. The promise fulfilled. But machines, legendary machines, do not end their stories where they began. The battery is not exhausted. The motor still hums. The light still burns bright. And in that lingering glow, something feels unfinished, deliberate, almost prophetic. The Tata electric scooter stands silent again, but this silence is not the silence of rest. It's the silence before evolution. Before announcement. Before disruption. Somewhere inside its circuitry, in the algorithms that optimize energy and performance, in the firmware that updates and adapts, a quiet transformation brews. A new version waiting to be born. A new range waiting to be shattered. A new frontier waiting to be crossed. And as the screen fades to black, a final line pulses like a heartbeat. If this was only the beginning, what will the next charge unleash?